Hello everyone, I'm Leslie. Welcome to episode 3 of the Knit California podcast. I am today wearing my Aosta sweater. It is the end of May. It's Memorial Day weekend, so happy Memorial Day to everyone in the US. It's a little cloudy and slightly chilly outside, and I just wanted to wear a sweatshirt, so I figured I would throw this on while I film today. I am joined in the room with my 3 dogs. I will introduce you to them. Here's Buddy. Oh, Rocky's jealous now. See, Bud? Yeah? Okay. Go lay down, okay? Good boy. Here's one Buffy. This is Lily Pup, named after the Pokemon, Lily Pup. She's a little sweetie pie. She's a little crazy, but we love her. This is Rocky, aka Rock Truck. Why does he look like this? Oh, he's so funny. They're brother and sister. We got them in October. This one had parvo in November. Almost didn't make it, but we're so happy that he did because we love him. Right, Rocky? He just wants to play with his brother and sister. Okay, there you go. And so if you hear any noises, it's probably them. If they start barking, I will kick them out of the room and put them outside in the backyard so we can have peace and quiet. But anyways, yeah, so my Aosta sweater, I talked about this in the first episode. The designer of this is Sophie from the Knit Purl Girl, and I made this with We Are Knitters, the Meriwool in Sprinkle Fantasy. I made the size large. I actually made this sweater twice. My best friend Sarah and I have matching sweaters, and I absolutely love it. I think this is a really great beginner pattern. If anybody is looking to make their first sweater, I think this would be a good one. And it's just really nice and warm. I love the stitch pattern. You can see it probably better on the sleeve here, but I think it's really cute with the sprinkled yarn. So anyways, that's what we've got here. Let's see. I don't have any finished objects today, but I have made some progress on some of my WIPs, and I am about to start a couple new things. I haven't officially started them yet. I was really trying to make a lot of progress for today's video, and it just wasn't really working. But I have to say, I do have quite a few yarn acquisitions to show you, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will have probably already seen these, but I'm going to share them again because I haven't shared them on YouTube. So, I'm going to start with probably the most exciting work in progress update that I have, and that is this. Ooh. Alright, so this is a whole stack of granny squares that I have made for the Knit Collage Corinne cardigan. This was using the Wildflower yarn. Let me see, I think I have some here. This is another WIP that I'm going to show you in a second. So lots of things. Okay. So yeah, this is the Wildflower yarn that's used in the center of the granny squares, and it's this fabric yarn, and it's super interesting to work with because it's completely different from any other type of yarn, but Knit Collage has such beautiful colors of all of this Wildflower yarn, so I love it. You can see a pink. Oh, I had a whole skein of this orange that I've used. It's awesome. So anyways, that's what's on the inside 2 rounds of that, and then the outside is their Serenity boucle yarn in the white, which is actually called Polar Bear. And I used this yarn when I made my Express Yourself sweater in the last make-along in fall. This stuff, I have to say, is not the easiest for me, in my opinion, to work with. Especially knitting, just like pulling stitches through, they kind of get caught. But crocheting with this, honestly, was like crocheting with a cloud. It felt like it's so soft, it's so lightweight, and it was a lot easier for me to work with in crochet than in knitting the last sweater. So I don't know, take with that what you may. But I have blocked these as well, and I shared, I think, there's 2 videos on Instagram showing the whole process that I made, process that I used when I blocked these, because I steam blocked these instead of wet blocking them, which is a little bit different. I don't think I'd ever shown that before, but I'm showing you right now all the different colors. So my thought process in making these, and you'll kind of see a pattern, is that I had a lot of these 2 middle colorways. So this like light pink and this white with pink and yellow. And I had seen pictures of other people making these squares, and they had used these lighter colors in the second round, and they used white as their main color in the outer round. And for me, I didn't like that the contrast was not super high between this yarn and this yarn. And so what I decided to do was put all of this lighter colored yarn in the center and make that my middle round. And so for almost all of my squares, you'll see that that's what the middle is. But that left me all of the bright colored yarns to use for the second middle round. And honestly, I mean, I think they look great. Like it's really high contrast between all these blues, pinks, greens, orange, reds, and the white. And I just really think you're going to be able to like see the granny squares really well in cardigan form. So that's like almost all of them. There's 16 of them here, so it's a lot. But the next step, oh, you know what? I had them all. Oh well, I just messed it up, but I have a picture. I had them all in order of how I was going to connect them for like the back panel and the front, and I think I just messed that all up, but I have a photo, so it'll be fine. But the next step is to crochet them all together. So you crochet, you know, the seams like this, doop doop doop, and then there'll be one on top, so you crochet that way. Probably not explaining that very well. And there's gonna be 4 that make up each of the front panels. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing a really good job here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the front panel. Then there will be another front panel over here, and then 8 squares, so 4 across and 4 across on the back for the back panel. You're gonna sew those all together, and then for the size I'm making, there's like a border row, and then we're gonna add the sleeves, and so it's good. These were like really quick to make and super fun and super easy, and this was my very first granny square that I ever made, so I'm really proud of these. I absolutely love the granny square. I think it's super cute, and my grandma crocheted. She was one of the first people to ever teach me how to crochet, and she made a lot of granny square blankets, so these are really special to me for that reason as well. And I'm really excited to have a full cardigan of granny squares. So there we go. There's finished object number 1. Okay. What am I talking about? That's not finished. Work in progress number 1. Okay. And the next one I want to show you, if I can get it out. I know I've showed this on both of the last 2 episodes, but I just love this project so much. This is my sweater number 15, work in progress, and I can't remember if 2 weeks ago I had it, I don't think I had it joined. I think I had it joined the shoulders here, but now it's joined in the round here. Hey, hey. So I'm really excited and happy with this. I'm gonna try it on soon. I definitely still have a few more inches to go in the body, but I'm considering, after I finish this last round that I'm on, I'm considering putting the body on stretchy cords so that I can pick up the neckline and finish this, because I love when the neckline is finished. It just starts to make the whole sweater look like it's almost done. And then I might pick up a sleeve. I don't know. I don't know. The sleeves are making me a little worried. Just like picking up all these stitches. Picking up stitches is probably one of my least favorite things to do in knitting. I just always feel like it's not gonna look good, or I'm gonna do it wrong or something. So that's why I get all nervous for it. And it kind of takes me a long time. But anyways, that's where I'm at with that. So this is sweater number 15. It's a pattern by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I am making the size large, I believe. And the yarn that I'm using for this is Knitting for Olive Merino and soft silk mohair in the shade Dusty Aqua for both. And I absolutely love this color. Okay, I have one more piece of like full knitting that I want to show you, and kind of something to go along with this. So I'm pretty sure I shared this in the first episode. This is my Moonset tee. Ooh. And I finally picked up the second sleeve here a couple nights ago. So I'm really proud of myself for being brave and doing this. Picking up stitches, like I mentioned, is not one of my favorite things to do, but I was just like in the mood for like doing something that was gonna like be hard but be worth it, and like making progress. And I'm halfway through with this sleeve. I forgot how quickly this knits up. So anyways, yes, I did this. One trick that I learned actually from Knitstagram was when I picked this up, I picked up every 2 out of 3 stitches. So what that means is I picked up 2 stitches and then I skipped one. And I picked up 2 stitches, and then I skipped one. And what that does is it just gives you like better tension overall for your sleeve. There's not too many stitches in your sleeve. It gets really close to the stitch count, at least for this pattern, that I was given for this size, so it was really good. And the other, I guess the plan is to finish this sleeve. Again, like I said, I'm about halfway through with it. You can see here's the one that I have already finished. And then it has an I-cord bind off here, which is really curling, but when I block this, it'll block beautifully. Similarly to my cottage core crop, this is the same yarn. This is Sewrellayarn fingering weight. In the color of this is Velvet. This was from the fall tonals back last year, 2021 fall tonals. I'm obsessed with this color. It's beautiful. But anyways, so I'm going to finish this sleeve, and then maybe I'll sew the neckline down here, and then it's just the rest of the body to go. I tried this on a while ago, a couple months ago, and it's like mid-boob length, so definitely gotta just knit until I finish it. So that's exciting. This is my longest work in progress that I have on the needles. I started this in December, and it's now almost June, so 5 full months on the needles. But this is a really small needle size. This is on 3.25 millimeter needles, which is tiny. So anyways, I had a request. I am pretty sure it was a comment on my last video and not on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it was on YouTube. But I had a request to share how you actually use these row counters. This is the one that I got from the Mother's Day box from Twice Sheared Sheep. And as a reminder, I do have an affiliate link to Twice Sheared Sheep that's down in the description below. So if you click on the link and buy anything, I get a small little commission, and that's how that works. It doesn't cost you any extra money, it just helps me out a little bit, and then I get more money to spend on yarn and other knitting related items. But somebody asked me to demonstrate how you actually use this, and so what I've done is I'm obsessed with it now, so I popped it on when I started knitting this sleeve, and currently right now, I don't know if you can see this, but I am knitting on row number 7. So when you start, you put it on this first loop here, and you've got the loop that's on your needles, and then you've got the bead that tells you what row it is. So you start out and you're working on row number 1. When you get to the end of the row, this is like your stitch marker and your row counter all in one. So you put this at the beginning of row. You'll switch as you're, usually you move your stitch marker from one needle to the next. Instead of moving it over onto the same loop, you move it down one loop. So you can tell that you're now on row number 2. And what that looks like, let me see if I can actually do this and show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see this at all, but I've got 2 stitches left. So, excuse me, let me knit these. 1, 2, okay, maybe I go like this, okay. So, like I said, I'm on row 7, and I'm gonna switch this to row 8, so I just try to pick this up. You can see right here, pick this up, move it over, and since I'm knitting, I try to keep both sides of the chain in my the front of my work, so that it doesn't get all crossed around in the back with my working yarn. And you just keep going. So now I'm on row 8 of my sleeve. And that's how this works. Now for my sweater number 15, I think I've shared this before, I've got my row counter on here. These cables are a perfect 10 row repeat, which is awesome because these row counters have 10 beads on them. It goes 9 and then 0, which is 10. This sleeve is a 15 row repeat. So what I'm doing is I'm knitting to 10 to the 0, and then I'm starting back over at 1, and then I'm going again until I get to 5. I just have to remember, if I'm on like the first 10 or the last 5, but it's pretty easy to do that because I can go back and see, where my increase is from my decrease from my last sleeve decrease, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on like 10 plus 2 and not row 2, so that's how I use this. When I get to the body, I'm probably not going to use a row counter because this is just going to be like inches and inches of stockinette knitting. So I don't think I'm going to need it until I get to the very end, when I start measuring out like, okay, I only need like 1 or 2 more inches left. I'll figure out how many rows that is, and then I'll probably pick it up and start using it again. But like I mentioned before, I am absolutely obsessed with these row counters. I had not tried one until Dawn from Twice Sheared Sheep reached out to me and asked if I would try out some of her products and share them on Instagram and now on YouTube. and this is my new favorite knitting tool in the whole wide world. So would highly recommend trying one out if you had never tried one before. And again, you can click the link in my bio to find Twice Sheared Sheep and get yourself some knitting tools. Okay, that's how you do that. If you still have a question, send me a comment message on YouTube or Instagram and I'll try to help you out, because I want everyone to be able to know how to use them. Okay, that is most of the knitting that I have done. I will go into acquisitions now, and one of these yarns that I have gotten I have swatched, so I will share that with you also. So we'll start with that first. I was looking at my stash and looking at my to knit list, and I was looking at the projects that I'm currently making, and I realized that I don't have a lot of like summer yarn and summer projects, and I really wanted to fix that because in the last couple of podcast episodes I have talked about, you know, I live in Southern California, it gets really hot, and I want to be able to share what I'm making, you know, in this weather, because I know that there are other knitters and crocheters and crafters that live, you know, not only in Southern California but in like really hot areas, whether you're in the US or not. And it would be nice for us to have, you know, warm weather items that we can make and wear. So after doing some research, I came across a tank top in my Ravelry queue that I wanted to try to make, and I looked at the yarn and I found out that Apricot Yarn Store in San Diego, which is a close-ish local yarn store to me, carried this yarn, and so I immediately went on the website and ordered some. Okay, this is the Sandnes Garn Line, and it is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. If you hear any yelling, that's Caleb, my stepson, downstairs. He's very loud. But anyways, yeah, so they had this at my local yarn store, and I got it. I really wanted to try this out. I think a blend of cotton and linen is going to be really nice to wear coming up in the summertime, so I'm really excited about it. I got, I think, 5 or 6 balls of it, and I'm going to be making the Thea top by Suzanne Muller. I'll put a picture of it. Isn't that cute? Just like a drapey classic tank top in this cotton and linen blend. So I'm really excited about this, and I have already swatched for it. This calls for a 4mm needle, I believe, and I did go up to a 4.5mm needle because I knit really tight. But so this is one that I also was trying to cast on and start before this podcast, and to be fair, I did start. I might need to redo it now, but you start with a provisional cast on. That's just a crochet chain. So I've got that, and then you pick up all the little bumps in the back loop here of these crochets. So I don't know if you can see it at all, but like you pick up right here and then knit that. I don't think you can see that at all, but I'm gonna make a reel about it. So yeah, and yeah, I was right, a 4.5mm needle. So anyways, I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be a fun little tank top. It should be like a quick project, right? Because it's just a tank top, so that'll be good. And then when I ordered that yarn, I also got a few skeins of this. Ooh. This is, I just saw this on the website and I was like, that looks nice. It's on sale. It's called Sami, S-A-M-I, by Amano. It's 100% Peruvian Pima organic cotton, and it was made in Peru. One of my elementary school through high school friends, her last name was Amano, so I really like this. But on the back of the tag it says Sami means, it might be Sami, I'm not sure, means kindness in Quechua, the native language of the Andes. Sami is kind to both our skin and the planet as it is a certified organic fiber. Grown on the coast and high jungle in Peru, this long-haired fiber is extremely soft, which I would agree, it is very soft. So they're 50-gram skeins, 164 yards, and I got 6 of them, like I said. And it says you're supposed to use like 4mm needles. So I'm excited to make a little top out of this as well. I think maybe I'm gonna try to make like a t-shirt out of this. I have a t-shirt that I wear all the time. It's like my favorite shirt in my closet. And I might try to like freestyle this into like a similar shape as that shirt. I don't know, that's my thought. Kind of scares me, but that's my thought. And I shared some purple yarn like this, I remember last week on the podcast, so now you can see, yes, I do love lavender and purple yarn, so there we go. Okay, we are down to the last thing that I want to share on the podcast, acquisition-wise, and this is my Sewrellayarn Knitflix order. If you know anything about me, you probably know that I am a large fan of Sewrellayarn. When I discovered Sewrellayarn myself about a year ago, it was right around summertime. It was the Sun-Soaked collection, and I fell in love, and I think I've purchased from almost every collection since then. We're gonna start with the yarn, and then I got some extras. I got some popcorn that I am gonna try for the first time. I have saved it until filming this podcast. That has been a real restraint. I have looked at it like almost every night sitting on my dresser. I'm like, I really want to try that. And I got some hand cream, so I'm going to share that as well. But let's start with the yarn. I'm going to share 2. Dun, da, da. Okay, love these. So this one is Mrs. Patmore's Kitchen in nylon sock. The idea is to actually make socks with this, and this was inspired by Downton Abbey, which is a show that I don't watch, but I absolutely loved this colorway. Just to rewind, if you don't follow Sewrellayarn, first of all, you should. She's a great yarn dyer. This collection was called the Knitflix collection, so it's all based off of movies and TV shows. Every colorway is a different movie or a different TV show that Ashley and her team enjoy. So the way that this worked up, this colorway with these purple and like orangish brown speckles, was just so beautiful to me. And if I ever start actually making socks, which I will say, I ordered today a size 1 9-inch circular needle, and I think that's going to be the key to me continuing to make socks, because I didn't have a small enough needle to work with fingering weight sock yarn, and I can do magic loop, but I think the 9-inch is going to be my jam. So anyways, love this one. And this, it just paired really well when I got this. I didn't even realize it when I ordered it. But this is not nylon sock, this is just classic sock. And this is called Central Perk. It's based off of Friends. And it's just like the perfect purple Friends colorway. Very different from like the lavender colors that I've been getting. It's like a darker purple, but still beautiful. Love it. Okay, next I want to show you those. I just got one skein of each, so I don't know what I'm going to do with Central Park because I just got one skein. We'll find out. I got a sweater quantity, so 3 skeins of this beautiful blue called Catherine, and this is based off of Hidden Figures. This is classic sock also, so 100% superwash merino wool. This blue color, I'm telling you guys, I am obsessed with colors like this. I got a very similar one from the Explorer Knits and Fibers Spring Tonals. I have Mohair that's similar to this. This is really close. I mean, not really close, but it is like kind of in the same family as, well, some of the other colors that I have, like this blue. So I'm into blues, but I need to figure out what I'm gonna make with this. I was thinking maybe another cottage core crop, but I'm not so sure anymore. So it's going on my to make list. It's going on my yarn stash list, where I can then match it up with projects that I want to make. And actually, I do want to share with you guys at the end of this episode, I recently, as in yesterday and today, totally updated and cleaned up my like to knit list as well as my yarn stash list, and I reorganized my whole yarn stash. I just had like, it was a huge mess, first of all, and I had a lot of inspiration to just start cleaning it up. And so I'll share more about that at the end of this video, because I think some people are interested in seeing how I keep all of my yarn and maybe what's in my stash a little bit. So anyways, but I have 2 more colorways to show you that I bought from this update. So the next, they're both variegated. So the next one that I want to share is Bake. Ugh, I love this colorway so much. It's just like beautiful, perfect pastel colors inspired by the Great British Bake Off, which I absolutely love this show. My husband and I like to watch this together. You know, it's usually on during the holiday season, like November, December time frame, which just makes it like really special and it feels all cozy. But like the whole show does give off this like, you know, pastel light color feeling. So I saw this and I was like, oh my god, I need that. So again, I got this in classic sock, 3 skeins. So another like short sleeve, maybe mid sleeve length sweater that I can make with these. I don't have I was so bad when I went into this collection. I did not have very many ideas about what I was going to make when I bought these. I just knew that I needed these colorways, so bad on me. I'm trying to get better about having patterns in mind for the yarn that I buy, and I did not do that. I just got way too excited about all of these beautiful colors. So anyways, love it. Okay. Last but definitely not least, I think this is probably my favorite colorway that I got from this collection. This is Casita. This is based off of Encanto. And just, I mean, can you even? I absolutely love this colorway. To me, it just looks like watercolors. It's like painting on a skein of yarn. This is like one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. And like each skein is a little bit different, but they've all got the same colors on here. I love how one color blends into another color, but then there's still like white spots that you can see. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And again, I got this on classic sock. I got 3 skeins of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be like like a short sleeve, probably sweater top something, but it's so pretty. Come on, it's just so pretty. I just love looking at this like all day. It just makes me so happy. So anyways, that is all the yarn that I got. Okay, let me share next the hand cream. If you have not tried Sewrella's hand cream, I would highly recommend. This is one of my favorite lotions. She got these cute little boxes, and the actual like hand cream container is very cute now as well. I got the scent Glow. It's got this gold lid. It's very pretty. But just some details. It's 2 ounces. It's got the list of ingredients on the box. It says made with lanolin and aloe for extra rich moisture. And then it says on the back, rich with lanolin and aloe, our hand cream is made with makers in mind. Instant moisture with no greasy residue means 0 crafting time is wasted. Just hydrate and cast on. And I have to 100% agree with that. That is like one of the things that I love about this hand cream. You can see that I have already started using it. You need like a little bit, you know, like this much. I typically go straight on the back of my hands because that's where, for me, my hands get really dry. So I just put this on, you start rubbing it in. It rubs in so quickly. So quickly. And this scent smells so good. When she was promoting this one, what did she say? She said that it smelled like an Anthropologie store, which really made me intrigued. And it does, it kind of smells like candles and like fanciness. But yeah, so I am like pretty much done already rubbing this in. You can see my hands are like a little shiny, but like they're more moist. They've got more moisturizer on them, but they don't feel greasy at all. Like I'm not gonna like touch my phone screen and get, you know, lotion all over it. You can't see any lotion on there. And I could definitely immediately go back to crafting right now. So, man, I don't even know if I should mention this, but I'm going to. Sewrella just had, literally like today, I'm filming this on Saturday, May 28th, and she has another collection that's open right now. It's called the Mayflower Collection, and I did buy another hand cream. It'll be my 4th. This is my 3rd. I have one of their like house blend, which is like vanilla chai, very warm, sweet scents. I keep that downstairs by my on my desk by my computer. I have like a Christmassy, winter themed one in my bathroom right now that I need to like switch out with this one probably. That one, I think it's called Snowfall, but it just smells like evergreen trees, Christmas trees. It's like, it's a very nice vibe. So I love to put that on before bed, but this might be my new go-to before bed, so. Okay, and then the last thing I got 2 popcorns. Okay, because this was like a Knitflix collection, like when you're gonna go watch a TV show or a movie, sometimes you need popcorn, right? So Sewrella, Ashley, and the team, they partnered with Maddie and Maze, is this company that makes this fancy popcorn. And there were like 4 or 5 different flavors. And the 2 that I got are bourbon barbecue and dark chocolatey caramel. So I'm really excited to try these. Again, I am opening these for the first time. Can you hear that harmonica? I told Caleb to be quiet because we could hear him, but anyways. Okay, it smells like barbecue. I gotta try this. Whoa. The barbecue flavor just like hits you right away. It's got a little bit of like that kettle corn flavor in there underneath. And then it's got a little kick to it at the end too. Yeah. I could eat a whole bag of that. That's delicious. That's definitely a movie snack. This is probably not one that I would want to eat while I'm knitting. I feel like I would get the orange. Oh, I don't even think I showed this to you. Ooh. I don't think I would want to get that orange like on my fingers while I'm knitting, but that's delicious. Yeah. Okay. And then I wanted to try the chocolate one second. Go from savory to sweet. Ooh, smells chocolatey. Chocolate and caramel. That's good. Okay. I would say this is more like classic sweet kettle corn with like chocolatey flavor in there. So if you're looking for something sweet, definitely this is one that you would want. And I believe you can still get these popcorns along with like the other flavors that they have. I know they have like a rose flavored one. I think there's a birthday cake flavored one. And I believe they're still in the market tab on their website. So you can go ahead and shop for those if you're interested. I'm not sponsored by Sewrella. I wish I was. I buy way too much from them. I just love them. So that's that. Okay, and so the last thing that I wanted to talk about is going back to the yarn stash tracker and project tracker that I have. So I made this a while ago. I don't remember when I made it, but I have a Google Sheets, which is similar to an Excel file where I keep track of, I have one tab for all the projects that I'm currently actively working on. And then at the bottom of that tab, it also shows like all the projects that I have picked out that I also already have yarn for in my stash. So it's all ready to go. It has been decided what will be made with that yarn. It's on the spreadsheet, okay? It's not in any order of like when I'm going to make them because I wouldn't follow that anyways. So as I make it, you know, it gets highlighted yellow. I'm currently making it. When I finish it, it gets highlighted green. I have already made this. I finished it. It's done. We're good to go. I have a second tab. You know what? I can kind of just show you on my phone because it has an app and it has like a desktop version. So, okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see this like super well. And I put my phone in dark mode. So, you got the pattern, the yarn, start and finish dates. If it's green, it's complete. If it's yellow, I'm still working on it. Everything below all of this is like what's planned, okay? On the next tab, this is where things were crazy. It was just all over the place. And I took some time yesterday to clean this up. So this just shows what pattern I want to make, what the yarn is that it suggests. So, you know, fingering weight, you need 1,200 yards of it or whatever. I put in like a category here. So is it a sweater, a cardigan, a summer pattern, etc. Yarn ideas. So for anything in my stash or maybe something that I want to buy or like what the suggested brand of yarn is for the pattern. And then the needle size. I thought that would help me to plan, but it hasn't really helped at all. So you can see this is a very long list of things that I would like to knit. Who knows if I will ever actually get to some of these patterns. It's just like a continually building list. So I think, you know, every so often I'll go and just start deleting things like I'm not interested in making this anymore or whatever. Okay. when I scroll down, I have added another section for stash yarn. So this is all yarn that I already have in my stash. So what yarn it is, and the weight and the yardage. So for example, I just added in like Casita fingering weight. I have 1,200 yards of that. And what I eventually want to do is start to match up the yarn in my stash with the patterns that I want to make, so that everything has a pattern and yarn. It's very wishful thinking, I think, but we'll get there someday. And then I have another section here as well where I also use this sheet to help me plan out like what I'm gonna buy when like a yarn collection drops. So like the Sewrella Mayflower Collection that dropped last night and today. I kind of write down like all the colorways that I really like, and I start to think about, okay, what patterns could I actually make with this yarn, how many skeins I would need. I figure that out, and then usually I edit myself down because I've got like, you know, a list of 5 to 10 yarns that I want, and I'm like, I can't spend that much money. I spent entirely too much this time, but I think it was worth it. I'm gonna make some pretty cool things with what I got, and I will definitely share that with you guys when I get the yarn in the next couple months. So this was kind of on my to-do list. It was starting to get super cluttered, the list, and was just like, I needed to reorganize for myself. Kind of go through it, make my brain feel better with not only my list but also my yarn stash. So I want to show you right now. Let me take you over to show you what my yarn stash looks like now, because I think it's way better, and you can see what categories I have. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is my yarn stash. It has grown by another cubby. I had all of my like sweaters, cardigans and stuff in here, but this is all gonna go in my closet, and this needed to open up for more yarn storage. So, but I'm actually gonna start over here, and I'm sitting on the floor, so I'm scooching over here. We'll kind of start and go from left to right. So what I have now is this whole cubby is summer yarns. So it's all cotton. It's my Knitting for Olives pure silk, the new yarns that I just talked to you about, and there's a lot more kind of in the back there. There's a lot of Kobu from Lion Brands, like a lot of Kobu in there. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of it because it's entirely too much, but that's all of my like cotton and summery yarns. So I'm gonna try and work through this summer because I have some ideas that I want to make with it, and kind of get that stashed down. Okay, so next I'm gonna come down here. This is all, if I take this out, these are all yarns that I have gotten specifically to make socks with. And you're gonna say, Leslie, I've never seen a pair of socks on the podcast. And I would say to you, yeah, that's right, because socks scare me. Again, I mentioned I got that set of US 1 9-inch circular needles, so I think that's gonna really help me to get some of these socks going. I have some beautiful, beautiful yarn in here that I would really love to make socks with, so that's that. Oh, and I believe the Crazy Sock Ladies summer sock camp has officially started, and so that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to get those needles, so that I could cast on and try to do at least one pair of socks during that. And you can see these two yarns that are already skeined up. I did cast those on both two separate times, and then frogged them because they weren't coming out well. So I have tried to make socks with fingering weight. The only socks I have successfully made so far are with worsted weight, which I don't know, might be cheating, I don't know. Okay, coming over here, down here, this is a whole cubby of Knit Collage yarn, which I love their yarn. It's so pretty, it's so special, it's so fancy. It deserves its own little cubby. So that's what that is. And coming up here, I will show you both of these at the same time. This is all sweater quantities of yarn that already have patterns picked out. So I feel like I have done really good in already choosing patterns for all of these, everything in these two. Now I just need to have the ability and time to cast them on. So love that for myself. Okay, I'm gonna come over here next. This is all sweater quantities of yarn that I do not have patterns picked out for yet. So need to figure those out. Most of my Sewrella yarn that I just showed you from the Knitflix collection is going to be going in here, although there is not room for all of it, so I will need to figure out some patterns like today. Okay, down here, this is all Mohair and Surrey and fuzzy goodness. That's a fun cubby. And then here, this is probably the cubby that gives me the most anxiety, because this is like single skeins or a couple skeins that go together that I do not have projects for because I like don't really have enough yardage to do anything with them. A lot of them I don't really know what I was thinking when I bought them. Some of them I think I can use together. So like these four are from Sun-Soaked Collection that I think I can use together, but I would probably want to get like a white to go with it. All of these are like Valentine's Day minis and Advent from Bella Filato Studios that I think I can use all together. I just haven't like fully figured out what I'm gonna do. I've got a bunch of Aran weight down here that I just feel like I don't have enough to like make a full sweater out of. So it's just kind of a bummer, like I wish I had more. And then just a lot of singles from Explorer Knits and Sewrella that, again, I wish I had bought sweater quantities of, but I couldn't spend that much money. So that's that. I guess if you have any suggestions for like single skein projects, the thing is I'm not really like a scarf or shawl wearer in general, so that's like the biggest thing. So anyways, this could all be like good for color work in the future. I'm just not a huge color work person right now, but that doesn't mean that I won't be in the future. So all right, and then coming over here to the black case, this first box is kind of random. I've got some like yarn that I have made like baby beanies out of for friends and family. This is like amigurumi yarn. This is a whole sweater quantity that like won't fit in the other cubbies that I don't want to take it out of here because it's like white yarn. This is for a cardigan. And I don't want it to get black dog hair all over it, so it's there for now until I get the mohair that goes with it. This cubby is all We Are Knitters. I've got like 10 skeins of yarnicorn here, which is entirely too much yarnicorn, but we're gonna keep it, it's fine. And then this neon yarnicorn is going to be a pillow for Caleb. He got me this for Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna make him like a fun pillow. It's gonna be good. And then this cubby is actually probably one of my favorites. I figured I really need a place to store yarn and skeins for the projects that I'm actively working on. So I need to clean it up a little bit, but like all of these minis are for my adventurous scarf. This is another skein of velvet for my moonset tee. In the paper bag is the Knitting for Olive from my sweater number 15. And then this is a skein of the Serenity Boucle for Knit Collage for my Corinne Granny Square cardigan. So I love that. It'll all be in one place and I won't have to go looking for it everywhere, which is kind of cool. I haven't seen anyone else kind of store their yarn like this, so I thought it was a really good idea. Okay, and then down here in the last one, I've got books, I've got like leftover yarn, I have a whole bag of swatches and needles and stuff that I need to get like a little basket or something to actually put all of that stuff in. But right now I just put it in an extra bag and shoved it in there because it was like all over the floor and in the way, so, and my steamer. And then in the process of like doing this, actually this bag mostly I have put yarn in to destash the last time I went through my closet, so some of it is already claimed and some of it is not. So I'm gonna figure out how I want to destash this, and then I have a whole nother bag over here that I just pulled stuff out from when I was cleaning up all of this. And then this is just a bin of like acrylic yarns that I bought when I first started crocheting in 2020, and I made some of these blankets with that I'll probably put it in the garage, just I don't know, until I figure out what to do with it. So there you go. I'm just like really happy that it's way more organized. There's like room on some of these shelves now. It can all breathe. It's all in the right category. It makes sense in my brain, which is the best part. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching episode number 3 of the Knit California podcast. As in my 2 previous episodes, everything that I have talked about is going to be linked below, along with my affiliate link to Twice Sheared Sheep. I also have an Amazon affiliate link that takes you to my Amazon storefront. So what I do is I save on lists like all the knitting tools, needles, blocking tools that I have like bought personally from Amazon and like would recommend. And again, if you click on the link and then purchase anything, I do get like from Amazon, it's minuscule, but like a very, very tiny commission from those sales. So those links will all be in the description also. I'm hoping in 2 weeks when I see you again, maybe I'll have a finished object. Maybe I'll have my Corinne Cardi complete. I think that's probably the closest one. And then I'll probably have a couple more cast-ons, because like I mentioned, I'm going to be casting on that Thea tank top, and maybe also a second summer top. We'll see. So stay tuned, come back in a couple weeks to see what I've been working on. I hope everyone has a really great weekend, a really great day whenever you're watching this. You can find me over on Instagram at Knit California. I share almost every single day videos about what I'm working on. I'm always in my stories. You can always send me a DM direct message if you want to reach out, ask a question, just say hi. I always reply to all of my comments over there, so, and messages. So again, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!